traveling by bus, being a woman in a public space makes you do things that you don't want to. Like for example, pallu यूं करके चलो, अपने हाथ यूं बांध के चलो, सिर झुका के चलो. These are not things I wanted to do. I wanted to walk like everyone else walks.
Hey guys, welcome to the Short Talk with me, Rohan. Lipstick Under My Burkha. A very interesting film which has been in the news for quite some time, and with me is one of the powerhouse of talents, you know, in terms of the film as well as otherwise, none other than Ratna Pathak Shah. It's actually my pleasure that I'm interviewing her. So, ma'am, to begin with, Lipstick Under My Burkha. Now, this is a film that chronicles the secret lives of 4 women, you know, who are in search of a little freedom from the looks of it. What, according to you, keeps today's women in our society from speaking their mind without any inhibitions?
Oh, many things. But if you were to sort of club it under one head, I'd say the general attitude that exists in our society, which is a patriarchal attitude. So that is one of the big problems, definitely. So that keeps...
so you're playing a 55-year-old woman with sexual desires, and there is a line in the trailer which goes by कि और कुछ नहीं तो अपनी उम्र का ख्याल रखो, and it's like a confrontation scene. I mean, why do you think, people think that older people are just only supposed to retire? Why do you think we have that mindset?
I mean, don't you remember the first time you found out when your parents did it? How shocked you felt and how surprised you were. All of us have gone through that.
Right. So, Lipstick and My Burkha, now there are a lot of situations which obviously that are shown in the film are not part of real life. So, have you in your personal life maybe faced a situation or, seen someone face a situation wherein the other person actually had to behave in a certain way and, just curb his or her desire so that, it's like an acceptable way? Has it ever happened? Would you like to share that?
Yes, I know lots of people who've had to do that, men and women.
And that has happened to you also?
Of course, in some ways, definitely. Again, I don't limit the use of the word desire only to sexual desire. No, but there are so many things that one wants to do, and not all get fulfilled.
If I ask you at hindsight today, because obviously things have changed a lot and they still need to change. Do you remember, say, a particular incident in your life where you had to act in a certain way so that, bhai, hum bhi acceptable ho jaye? Aisa koi kissa if you would like to share?
Definitely. जब सड़कों पे चलती हैं औरतें, then you really cannot behave in the way that you want to. Right. I don't want to be hassled. Yeah. Traveling by bus, being a woman in a public space makes you do things that you don't want to. Okay. Like for example, pallu यूं करके चलो, अपने हाथ यूं बांध के चलो, सिर झुका के चलो. These are not things I wanted to do. I wanted to walk like everyone else walks.
Now, if I ask you, while you've done a lot of theatre, you've done television, you've done films and everything, do you think personally in the kind of sequences that are there or the bold scenes that are there, you would have been equally comfortable had there been a male director instead of Alankrita?
What kind of male director? That makes all the difference. Right. Isn't it? Yeah. There are, I mean, why are we making it sound like all the men in the world are real horrors and, who are out to strip a woman of her dignity? That's not so. There are a few people like that, there's no doubt. But equally, there are more, I think, or at least I have met more of them, who don't want to do that and who are supportive and very dignified in their dealings with women. So, but having said that, Alankrita being there as a woman definitely was a level of comfort that was created.
Now, coming to, CBFC, talking about certification, the film has really had its share of problems. If I personally ask you as an artist, and again, I see from the point of view that you've worked so much, what is your view, on the way CBFC is working today in India?
It's a certification board. It's not a censorship board actually, but they still have the rights to prevent certain kinds of things from being shown. Okay. And they exercise that right quite arbitrarily. And I think that has to stop. Quite honestly, censorship really does not have a place in the society today. If you're old enough to vote, as they say, you're old enough to decide what you want to see in a movie, or decide what you want to eat or what you want to wear, right? So I say that the censor board definitely needs to function more as a certification board rather than this kind of moral police role that they've taken on themselves.
Right. So, sex is one of the biggest themes of this film, and sex is still, a matter of great taboo in our country. I mean, do you Do you think this is because, you know, our society still doesn't probably encourage healthy conversations, especially between the family members, or do you think there's another reason altogether?
Arey bhai, our society doesn't encourage conversation. In my generation and people before that, men talking to their wives was an unusual fact. Just talking. Hai na? How many people know each other, decide that they like each other before they get married?
Correct.
Isn't it? And having done so, how many people spend time to figure out what the other person is really like and find things that they share, things that in common? If I'm confident, I don't want to hide. I only want to hide when I'm scared.
When there's something wrong that I'm doing properly.
No. When I'm just scared of other people and their power. If I'm constantly going to be worried that you're going to upstage me and I'm trying to be smarter than you in this conversation, we'd never have a conversation, no?
Correct.
If you're trying to, you know, pull me down by asking me overly smart questions, we'll never have a conversation. But because we want to talk to each other, we listen to each other, right? And of course, don't forget that horrible thing. एक दूसरे से कोई बात ही नहीं करता भी हाँ ठीक है
Facebook के ऊपर है face to face नहीं है
हाँ बिल्कुल
you know, according to you, of course, the trailer looks amazing, the film looks promising, it looks something really different जो हमने मतलब मेरे को लगता नहीं बहुत वक्त में ऐसा कुछ देखा है
नहीं मैंने तो कभी ऐसी स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ी ही नहीं थी so सचमुच it is something quite something to be anticipated because कभी-कभी स्क्रिप्ट बहुत अच्छी होती है लेकिन necessary नहीं है कि फिल्म भी बहुत अच्छी बनती है.
Let me ask you one last question. So, what do you think will be if I asked you that one thing that will actually get hammered after people watch Lipstick Under My Burkha? So, what would you say?
Women are people with all kinds of ideas, stupidities, ugliness, beauty, passion, pain, everything, same as the men are. And if we can share each other's stories, wouldn't it be more interesting? Wouldn't you like to find out what women really think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
I love to find out what men really think.
So that's what Lipstick Under My Burkha will
is about, hopefully.
Alright, on that note, thank you so much for talking to us, man.
Welcome.
It's really been a pleasure.
Thank you, my dear.